In lesson 3, you are going to be taking all of your skills that you've learned so far in Photoshop and apply them to a real live situation. This is actually a advertisement that I worked on when I was a graphic designer for Gannett, so the people that own the Des Moines Register. So if we are in graphic design section 1, we go to Photoshop lessons, and now we're in lesson 3. You need to go ahead and first open up the Kayak Rebuild assignment. Right? Let's go ahead and take a moment and then read this assignment together. So the people at Aqua Excursions have changed their name and are looking for an updated ad to promote their current sale. The images that they've supplied are their old ad, their new logo, an image of the kayak that they would like to use. Your challenge is to build a new, beautiful ad. Okay, here are the requirements for the ad. It needs to be 8.5 by 11, can be vertical or horizontal. You must use the new logo. Use the text from the previous ad, the kayak from the TIFF file, change the color to fit your background. So you must make sure to go ahead and change that color, right? Do not use the background that was in the original ad. So now you need to go ahead and you need to look for something new and fresh, right? Application of typography skills and design. So that's just saying make it look pretty. And then when you're finished, upload your PSD file there. So you can see this is the example of their own ad. You can see it's really not up to date. It's super boring, okay? If we go back into our Kayak Rebuild job folder, what you'll see, as this takes forever, you have some things that you need to download, all right? So you're gonna need a kayak TIFF, your Lions logo, and then I would actually bring up the old ad for yourself as well. Okay, what the old ad is going to show you is all of the text that you need from the previous ad. Now you can download this and open this up in Acrobat. You can just leave it simply here. You can actually otherwise download this PDF, this little download button here, and then open it in Photoshop. So I'm going to do that here so you guys can kind of see how that looks. So downloading. Okay, here's my old ad. I'm going to throw that into Photoshop right now. Okay, so you can see that right there. Okay, now I can go ahead. I have all my items open. Here's my logo. Here is my kayak. Here's my kayak ad. And then here's my old ad. All right. Now, what you need to think about is you need to think about all these components that you need. You need to think about the largest item that you need in there, okay? So Lions Outdoor Games, they're completely changing their name and their logo, so you need that. You also need to come in here and figure out how you're going to get this kayak, how you're going to change this color, and then throw it into a new ad, okay? So those are the things that you need, okay? Let me give you an example. If I go back into my Chrome, into my Schoology, I'm going to go back to my Kayak Rebuild job. In here, you will see you actually have an example. On the example, you can see this ad has a completely different look than what you've seen before. Okay, so here's my Lions Outdoor Games. Here's my logo. Okay, have a nice bar here that mentions all store items that are 30% off, and then up to. Okay, I also have my kayak here that I've changed to pink to go with this nice scenery. Okay, because it goes with this beautiful sunset. Okay, you do not need to do a sunset for yours. You can do something that's in the daytime. You can do something on a river. You could do something in the city as well. Think about a place that you would like to go kayaking that would be inviting for a person to go in and purchase one. Okay. Now, to get this started, I'm going to briefly go over some things. You're going to do File, New. All right. You are actually going to change this to inches. You need to do this in 8.5 by 11. You can come in here, and if you want, you can pick US paper. It'll automatically set that there for you. My width, I'm actually going to want this 11 inches and this 8.5 because I want mine to be horizontal. If you want it vertical, you can go ahead and just keep it the same. I'm going to do OK. Okay, here's my space that I'm going to work with. All right, first and foremost, as you can see, it's an RGB. I'm going to go ahead and change that. All right, I'm also going to come in and I'm going to do a file, save as. I'm going to name it Kayak Ad. And I want to make sure that I am doing a Photoshop file, so a .psd. I'm just going to save this on my desktop for myself right now. You need to go ahead and save that to your H drive. Now, when you are in here, you need to go actually through Firefox, okay, from the server. You need to look up background images, okay? So as you saw before, my background image was this beautiful sunset on the water, okay? It's up to you to see what you can find. If I go back to my Photoshop, all right, I need to take this logo. So just like we learned, okay, Control A to select all, Control C to copy, then I can come over here and I can paste. Now, if I open up my layers panel, just like on our cutting board assignment, it makes that layer for you. If I hit Shift, I can hold down, hit my arrow to apply, and then my logo goes ahead and it gets very large, okay? You can also double click on that layer name, and then I can change that so that it says logo. You do not have to change your layer names if you want, but if it helps you, you can go ahead and do that. Now your kayak, you're going to have to come in here and you're going to have to cut that out with the pen tool. Okay, I would definitely recommend the pen tool. And you're also going to have to use your hue and saturation levels and lightnesses and darknesses to try and change that color. Okay, last but not least, let's go ahead and look at this. Let's go ahead and add our up to 30% off. Or let's go ahead and make some text, shall we? I'm going to show our layers here. To create a text box is very easy. I'm going to go to text. I'm going to click on it. I'm going to click here. And then I'm going to do 30% off. Okay. There is my text. I can highlight this and I can go up to the top. And I have a huge variety of different fonts to choose from. I'm on a Mac, so I may have a little bit more of a variety than you. You can change the sizes. Here's where you also can change the color. I obviously don't have a background yet, so I'm not really sure which is a good fit. Okay, so I'm going to keep going and building my ad. If, for instance, you want some sort of shape on there, go ahead and just add yourself a new layer. Find your shape tool, right? So this is a rectangle tool. I can hold on this and I can do all sorts of shapes. For myself right now, I'm just going to make a rectangle. Okay, my rectangle is now filled in purple. You can see here's where I choose my colors, right? Okay, if I were to make another rectangle, then that would go ahead and choose that. If my properties panel is here, I can also go ahead and change my color this way. So that's completely up to you what you would like to do. Maybe I want to move this around. When I move this around, you can see that this isn't in the right area. It's too far up, so I need to go ahead and drag that back down. Okay. Make sure as you're working to go ahead and save. So make sure you are file saving all the time. I accidentally hit a few keys, so I accidentally closed out of that. Okay, so make sure you're saving, and you guys will have about a week to work on this. Midway through, I'll actually have you guys print these out and we'll do some feedback. So those are your, that's your newest challenge. Very, very real world application. Check this out right here. One last time, your requirements are, so you're building a new ad for aqua excursions. It needs to be 8.5 by 11. It doesn't matter if it's horizontal or vertical. Use the new logo, use the text from this previous ad. So this bad example is the previous ad. You need to change the color of the kayak and you need to get a different background, okay? And then your application of typography skills, AKA make it look pretty, right? If you have any questions, of course, see me and I look forward to seeing your designs.